martial arts bilang usong-uso ngayon ng Karate Kid na sinasabi nila it's a good movie, but also why are they calling it Karate Kid if they're actually teaching Kung Fu in the movie, which is Chinese martial arts. Meron ba tayong Pinoy martial arts? Sunny Season is here. He is the associate producer of The Bladed Hand, which is a documentary about Filipino martial arts. You're also an actor, right?
Sometime
yes,
actor. My primary means of living is as a stuntman.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Kababayan, LA. And being a stuntman, I'm sure you've been exposed to Filipino martial. Is there such a thing as Filipino martial arts?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What comprises it?
Well, generally speaking, is probably more popularly known in the Philippines as arnis.
Okay.
But here in the United States, they use it interchangeably with kali or eskrima as well.
Mm-hmm. So when you say interchangeably, so it means one and the same. Ano yun? Like we know arnis, but arnis is more like it's something that uses weapon, right? It's not like karate na puro hand movements or kung fu.
Well,
or
actually,
is it the same?
It is first of all a weapons-based art.
Okay.
Okay, so we use the sticks in lieu of actual swords, so we don't hurt ourselves or cut ourselves, or maybe potentially kill ourselves while we're training.
Right.
But arnis, if you understand where the roots come from, because a lot of it was influenced by Spanish colonization. Arnis means harness.
Oh.
So arnis de mano is the actual term, is harness of the hand.
Okay.
Eskrima itself means skirmish or fight.
And eskrima, you use a sword called kris. It's, diba?
Right.
Kris?
Different swords, they may use kris, they may use bolo, they may use kampilan.
So, hindi pa indigenous ba siya sa atin? Or, kasi parang hindi pa rin because it was influenced by Spain, by the Spaniards.
I think more so in the technical aspect of putting it into an organizational way of training. The influence of Indonesia before, Indian influence, even as far as I believe Iran, have come through, as well as the Chinese influence of the arts as well.
And see, that's why I think we need The Bladed Hand, a documentary about Filipino martial arts, so we can be more educated about these things. Let's talk about the particular documentary. Why? What is the goal behind it?
Well, it came about through the director, Jay Ignacio, was wanting to do originally a documentary on his friend, Daniel Foronda, also known as Mombaki.
Okay.
Now, Mombaki is the official trainer of the Russian Spetsnaz. They are the Russian version of our special forces.
And he's Pinoy?
He is Pinoy.
Wow.
So he goes to Russia, who's his grandmaster is Liugahe of the Pakiti Tirsia Kali system. So originally he wanted to do that, and Jay and Kent Vivas, who's the photographer of the documentary, flew to Russia to watch them train and came back home. And then Jay was saying, wow, there's more to this than just this. Because he had taken some arnis classes when he was going to UP, and he realized, for him, he came from a karate background.
Right.
And he thought, this isn't so good, this is our own stuff. But he wasn't getting the full instruction and understanding of what we had.
Oh, okay.
So once he started to do that, he went down to Cebu, where is considered the home of eskrima.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Cebu City, he interviewed so many of the masters there.
See, so we're learning a lot today.
Yeah, it just grew and grew. So he interviewed some of the masters from the Doce Pares system, also the Balintawak system, and Johnny Cañete, who is the grand master of one of the Doce Pares systems. There's different classes and different styles within that family organization. He encouraged Jay. He said, this documentary won't be complete unless you get Guru Dan Inosanto here in the U.S. Because Dan is probably the main proponent of Filipino martial arts since the late 60s.
But wasn't he also a student of Bruce Lee at some point? Yes, and his daughter is Diane Innocento, who was, we interviewed her on the show before.
Yeah. Diane's a great friend.
And she's part of the movie.
She's part of the documentary as well. So as well, Ron Baliki, her husband.
Okay.
Now, part of the emphasis of what Guru Dan did with Bruce Lee was, even though he inherited the JKD system as to continue its propagation. He was also training simultaneously with a lot of the masters that he learned from in Stockton.
Oh, okay.
And
which is Filipino martial arts.
Filipino martial arts.
Okay, and the movie, the documentary is basically going to give us an appreciation for Filipino martial arts, but I think in close, it's not going to open till...
we're hoping to premiere it in September. So our
come back by then and let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the main thing that I want to ask you in closing is, where do you see this going? oh yes, let's say after the documentary, we know about Filipino martial arts and we appreciate martial arts more, but what do you hope that this documentary will do for martial arts?
Well, first and foremost, to bring a cultural pride to what is our own. You know, one of the reasons why Jay approached me was because of my working in the industry.
Right.
And a lot of the things that Filipinos see come through the media, the movies. So you have Karate Kid, or you have the Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee movies, which really say this is Kung Fu.
Right.
What movies out there say this is Filipino martial arts? There are movies now. Book of Eli, the Born Identity movies. You know, these are movies that were choreographed by Jeff Imada, who's a student of Guru Dan.
Oh.
So there is Filipino martial arts, but they don't say outright this is Filipino martial arts.
Right.
This documentary is going to show that, you know, that even though we have a responsibility to the people that are watching this, that we have our own stuff.
Very inspiring and very encouraging, and I would want to see that. Please come back and let us know when it is done, and maybe we'll tell the viewers as well where they can catch it.
Absolutely.
They have a fan page on Facebook?
Facebook fan page, The Bladed Hand.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. More power to you.
Thank you.
Magbabalik po ang Kababayan LA. Don't go away.
Ang Kababayan LA ay hatid sa inyo ng McDonald's at ng bagong McCafe Espresso Drinks. McDonald's na ba ang inyong bagong coffee house? Ang mga bagong McCafe Espresso Drinks ay mabilis, masarap at mas mura pa kahit saan, kahit kailan.
Kumuha ng serbisyo ng teleponong pambahay na mas mababa sa 25 cents sa isang araw mula sa California Lifeline Telephone Program kahit naputulan na ng serbisyo. Tumawag sa inyong kumpanya ng telepono para magpalista o sa 1-866-272-0353 para sa impormasyon.